Sites. Dead dogs have been found floating in a canal running into a water treatment plant. Now 3.5 million residents are being warned to boil their water thoroughly. Libby Vina reports from Sydney.
It's a first world city with a third world problem. Water everywhere, but not a drop of it fit to drink. Initially, the supplier responsible played down the crisis, but by today, 3 million people were told that anything from the tap was dangerous. The message to boil all water or buy it bottled. Dead animals near a reservoir are being blamed for the contamination. A parasite called Giardia, which causes nausea and diarrhea, had been flushed into the system. But whatever the explanation, there's anger and consternation here as to why it took so long for the information to filter through.
The buck ends with the Cabinet and with Bob Carr, the Premier. If his ministers have failed, he should get rid of them.
Today, bottled water was fast becoming Sydney's most precious commodity. The city's largest bottling company has more than doubled production.
We're busier now than we would be in the hottest summer we could possibly have.
Even washing food in tap water is thought to be too risky, and instant drink machines stocked with ordinary water have been shut down. In hospitals, some operations and dental surgery are being postponed. The New South Wales government has ordered an urgent inquiry into the crisis, warning that anyone found negligent will be sacked. But with Sydney due to host the Olympics in 2 years' time, its image as well as its water may soon be in need of a clean-up. Libby Vina, ITN, Sydney.
Archbishop Desmond Tutu's Truth and Reconciliation Commission in South Africa has held the last of its hearings into human rights violations during the apartheid era. Many of the hearings were terribly painful, but their intention was not only to establish the truth, but to draw the poison from relations between the races. ITN's Penny Marshall reports now from Pretoria.
For 2 years, South Africa has bared its soul before Archbishop Tutu's Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Its supporters believe it has allowed the country to come to terms with a painful past. Detractors say it has merely deepened racial divisions and mistrust. The Archbishop himself believes the process has been worthwhile.
One of the extraordinary things is that black people hearing all of these things, knowing what they have suffered, don't say, let us go on a rampage. They say, no, we now that we know, we have a kind of satisfaction.
The Commission has collected 20,000 statements from victims of crime during apartheid. Witnesses have ranged from leaders of the black struggle like Winnie Mandela to enforcers of the old regime like former policeman and convicted killer Eugene de Kock. But critics say the Commission has been selective about its examination of the past.
There has been a third opinion poll now from South Africans in which 2/3 of the urban population of South Africa reckons that the Truth and Reconciliation Commission has damaged the racial relations in South Africa.
The Commission's final report will be published in October. The government is hoping that by confronting its past, South Africa will be better able to build a future. And for all the controversy, many of the questions about what happened here under the apartheid regime have now at least been answered. This Commission investigator has answers. In a township hall, he told Maria Ntuli where her missing son was buried. Her boy disappeared 10 years ago. She now knows he was abducted and murdered by the security police.
It's not so easy. It's not easy for us to forget, and it's not easy for us to come together.
The Truth and Reconciliation Commission has taken 2 years to find the truth for Mrs. Ntuli. It will take her a great deal longer to accept it.
Football and the new Premier League season kicks off in Scotland.
In the city, and she's French. Claire Bichon has taken a job here because of the possibilities it offers.
London really is the place where I can do new things and work with very highly experienced people, colleagues and clients.
Claire isn't worried by less job security in Britain, and she likes the way we live.
One definite plus of living in London is the quality of life that's offered by the way the town is organized, the gardens, and I think have a very high quality of life. I'm not sure Londoners realize that, actually.
While the British are off to France on holiday, the French are heading our way to make a living. It's thought that 100,000 of them are now in London alone. The last time so many Frenchmen and women came to Britain was when they were escaping from the French Revolution 200 years ago. Today, they're coming because they want to, when it can be quicker to get from Paris to London than from Paris to the south of France. Leicester Square is where young people looking for a job find the French International Exchange Centre. Unemployment in France is twice what it is in Britain. The numbers calling in here are up 40%. Malika was pleased to get a job in ITN's cuttings library, but not so happy with our cost of living.
It's quite sure that in England it's a lot more expensive, housing and food or transport, but it's a challenge I was ready to take.
And if French workers can cope with the economic climate here, French bosses positively love it. Jean-Christophe Novelli is Britain's hottest celebrity chef. 2 years ago, he employed 4 people, now it's over 100, with 4 restaurants in London to only 1 just opened in France. Employers' taxes are lower here, and it's easier to get financial backing.
You only have one chance in life, and you have to be in the right environment, wherever, if it's France or England for the moment.
And the moment it's here?
It is definitely UK, definitely. And I'm actually pleased. It's the best thing I've done.
Coffee, croissant and French conversation are this family's breakfast habit. France is much more generous with child allowances and maternity pay than Britain, but these children are growing up here.
In France, they are more still family-centered. And if you have got children, the taxman takes that into account and try to help you in raising your family.
That said, more and more of the French are now heading our way to set up home here. Richard Lindley, ITN, London.